Welcome to this review video. I basically bought a few swords over the last couple of weeks. This was the original Leon Paul one. This is an Allstar Ullman, and this is one that I actually imported from America. The reason for doing this review is just to give an idea of quality between the different companies. This is my original Leon Paul one. I've had this for a couple of months now. It's the just for the purpose of the video though, this is the more expensive one with the Marajan blade, MS 2000, and this is Leon Paul say this is fully manufactured in Britain, and I'd hope so given the Made in Britain flag here. I bought this second one here. This is the All Star Ullman one for a competition that I've got coming up um, in the Highlands, the Highland Open Sabre category. So I needed a backup sword. I didn't want to take any of the club gear. And I quite liked this one because it was grey. It's got this sort of grey contrast compared to the Leon Paul one, the silvery one. And then I seen this one online and I thought, wow, that looks pretty cool. It's the Black Knight. So yeah, I just thought this is pretty much just bought purely because I'm a gear tart, and yeah, I kind of like to look at it. Look pretty cool with the black blade. You can see it's quite dark in the light. But I wanted to compare it because there is some quality issues, I think, between some of the less expensive items. So I think starting the Leon Paul one, I've had really good. I've got really good feedback about this one. The blade quality is excellent. It's really well cut in. The fuller's really nice. The top groove. I don't know if that's also called a fuller, but no issues at all with this. Obviously, it scratches up pretty well, but that's to be expected. The handle's fairly comfortable, and the quality of the parts on the Leon Paul gear has always been very nice. I'm a big fan of the Leon Paul stuff. Most of the stuff I've got is Leon Paul, just purely because it's made in Britain. It's a bit more expensive than some of the other brands, but I always think with most things these days you get what you pay for. So I guess the Leon Paul is probably the benchmark for how I'm going to review these. So yeah, so that just it might be worth noting though, this is the more expensive one. This has got the lightweight accessories on it, and like I said earlier, it's the Apex blade, which I believe is like the S2000 Marajan steel. I think I paid somewhere, I want to say it was about 150, £60 for this one, and yeah, it's really good, lightweight. The second one, like I say, was the backup. I thought I'd broaden my horizons a little bit, so I ordered this. It was direct for the Allstar UK website. Allstar Ullman's obviously a German company, and I just kind of liked the dark version of this Belgard. Came with the S2000 carbon blade. This is not the I don't believe this is Marajan, certainly due to the amount that I paid for it. Now, it's worth noting the quality is definitely not quite the same as the Leon Paul blade. Now, I say that because when I got into the box, some of the machining wasn't too great. Now, obviously, I've used this, so it didn't come out the box quite like this. I've used it over the last couple of weeks, but there is issues with the blade just on the finishing, and I don't know if this is just because of the fact that it's the cheaper carbon blade, but I don't know. It's almost like the last bit of a machine polisher wasn't taken over the top of it, because there's little, like, you can just ever so see under the light it's not quite finishing off, which you just didn't have that on the Leon Paul blade, which is still really nice and shiny after a few months of use. You can see it at the top there. See, fairly consistent reflections in the light, and you can see this almost at certain bits of the blade at the top. It's completely different. See, I don't quite understand why it looks like that, given it's consistent on both sides. I don't know if this is a machine because of the bend or what, but yeah, just slightly little. I don't know. It just you want to spend a 80 quid on a blade and a full saber. You just expect I don't know a little bit of polishing at the end. Just makes you feel good, feel special. The other bits on it are fairly good. The handle's really comfy. It's chunky enough. I think the paintwork inside is fairly nice. The pad's obviously just fairly standard. The back strap is fine, and the pommel also fine. Paintwork could be a little bit more consistent. They're a little bit potted there, so it tells me that it probably needs a bit of sand just before it's painted. But yeah, not too bad. No perfect, but fine for the price point. I think moving on to the last one is this absolute fencing blade. Now I got this just purely to tarty purposes. I just thought, well, Black Knight sounds pretty flash, a bit like a Monty Python sketch with the Black Knight. So I thought, why not? So I actually bought this on Monday. Came fairly quick. Cost $80 plus another $45 for the shipping. Came within a few days, which was really interesting all the way for the States. So you're talking, what, 120 quid all in? Now, I'll start at the back. The materials are fairly similar and consistent with the Allstar blade. The pommel's fairly consistent with that. The plastic is more or less the same. Doesn't feel quite as nice quality as the Leon Paul blade. The guard pad is quite nice. I quite like the fact that it's extended, and I quite like the larger style of bell guard. It just feels a bit bigger than the other ones. I opted for this rather unique Harut Cobra handle, and I have to say that I'm actually really quite impressed with this handle. The flat bit for the thumb gives it a lot of purchase, and the extra material at the back here, just under the pinky, it actually feels like it gives a bit more control, which is interesting. I didn't think that would make much of a difference, but the minute you pick this up, you can almost feel like you get a better all-round grip on the saber, which I'm quite a fan, and I'm actually thinking about just ordering another two of these for the other two sabers. The coating, I don't know if there's a powder coat or how they put the speckling on this, or if it's just maybe paint. But the bell guard itself is fairly nice. I quite like the laser etching the Black Knight in here, and yeah, it feels quite nice. Where it falls down though is the blade work. This blade looks like it's been finished off with a set of your grandmother's false teeth. I'm got to be honest, I'm disappointed with this blade. It looks, and I've never used this by the way, this is just fresh out the box a couple of days ago. The finishing on this blade is atrocious. There's scratches on it. It looks like it's been sanded down with 500 grit sandpaper. The fuller isn't etched out or machined out. It's almost like somebody's went ham with an industrial sander. The groove at the top it's not even straight in the middle. Like, why? Like, why is that even a thing? It's like weird scratches here. It doesn't look like it sits flush to the bell guard. It just kind of pokes out, which is really odd. And you just get this quality all down with like chunks at the blade, scratches, even at the top. It just looks like it's just half-arsed, quite frankly. Yeah, I don't know, just why put a product out that looks like it's been gnawed at by a squirrel that's currently huffing cocaine? It's really quite disappointing. I mean, you got to go all in and call some fancy blade a Black Knight. You expect a bit more Sword of Excalibur rather than I've just changed my car aerial into a sabre for fencing. So I don't know, I'm just a bit disappointed with Absolute Fencing. You think given it's an American brand, you think they would be um, up for putting in a bit more quality in it. You see the wee scratches? It's just, why? Why is that even like that? I don't know if these are just all handcrafted or what. I'm not quite sure why, but just compared to the Leon Paul, this is just substandard. You can even see just at the top where the fuller would be, it's just not consistent. The measurements look off. So I know I'm just being a bit picky here, but it's just inconsistent all the way up the blade length and doesn't mirror on the other side. See that? They just it's thicker on the top of the fuller here than it is here, and then over the other side it's weird different thicknesses. And again, it's just why is the channel away to the left? Like, what's that? Why? And what's the scratch? Why is there a date on it? Like, is this the manufacturer date? Like, I don't really understand it. Like, I mean, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt here that this is the entry level carbon blade rather than, say, the S2000 Marajan that, say, Absolute Fencing offer. But even then, like, why is it so rubbish? The Leon Paul basic carbon blades look nothing like this. It doesn't make any sense. Like, if I compare both the blade work here, you can see the lovely Leon Paul blade. It's the fuller is well machined out. It's nice and smooth. There's consistency in the finish, like somebody's just went over it with like really fine machine polisher. And this one, like I say, it just looks like it's been run through a bush. It made a Brillo pad. It's really odd. Which is a shame because obviously, like obviously it's a bit of a gimmick with it being all black, but I don't know. Just wanted to look a bit better than this, given I'm a bit of a gear tut. So yeah, so if you're going to buy this, just be aware that you might not get the quality that you expect, and if you really want the top-notch stuff, it's probably worth just sticking to what you know. And if you're in the UK, yeah, you maybe pay a little bit more for the Leon Paul blades and equipment, but at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. And Leon Paul put that little bit extra into making the equipment feel a bit more special. I mean, it's fine for a club blade, but you know that's where it might take a lot of abuse. But it's not really something that, you know, if you're putting 100 quid into a blade, you really want to be rocking. But the handle's worth it. I definitely recommend the handle. And some of the other components here are quite nice. The bell guard's really nice, although this will get battered up fairly quickly. But this blade, absolutely not. The blade's trash. So yeah, so any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll ask away. But yeah, I would think twice about the Absolute Fencing blades. Other components are not too bad. The Allstar Ullman's German made. The finishing's not quite as comprehensive, I think, as the Leon Paul, but there's nothing like stands out that's crazy. Everything sort of matches up, and the components are fairly good quality. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's slightly on the cheaper side. But the Leon Paul one, that's where it's at. I think out of these three. Anyway, have a good one.